Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to talk about a new and upgraded STRIMER PLUS V2, which we have in 24-pin version, we have in two 8-pin version, and of course for higher end graphic cards we have also a 3 8-pin version, so you don't have to plug in your 24-pin, right? So yeah, I've seen loads of builds on Instagram using a 24-pin older version of STRIMER Plus, basically for their triple 8-pin slot GPUs. That was quite thoughtful, but today I decided to go with two 8-pin and a 24-pin, which will look outstanding, and here is why. Lian Li produced the STRIMER PLUS V2, which is brighter, thinner, and more flexible, which gives a possibility for you guys to manipulate the cable as you wish, compared to the V1, which was really a bit, let's say, stiffer. This one, look at this. This is bendable so easy, and you can do such nice organization with this cable just because it's a 24-pin that usually sticks out quite a lot, and this one will as well, no matter what the flexibility. But check this out. You can actually make it really nice and flexible and bend it at the back. So this is the part that goes into your motherboard, slide it here and at the back. This is just outstanding, as well as this two 8-pin one, which is also really flexible and can be adjusted as you wish depending on the position of your graphic card. Is it vertical, is it horizontal, is it upright? It's all up to you guys. But today we're going to talk about, I'm going to show you all the possibilities, because we have a controller that comes with 24-pin cable. So you have a possibility to connect 24-pin cable on it, and even the two 8-pin or triple 8-pin cable to it. So yeah, that's really nice and handy, because then you get those special effects from Lian Li Connect software. Now, in addition to everything, if you, for instance, just want to go with the 8-pin cable and you're wondering how you're going to control your RGB, you get an additional cable here that actually transfers and transmits the cable that comes from the two 8-pin. You connect it to that one, and it actually converts it to addressable RGB, because you can go with that option as well. Now, for the 24-pin, you can't go solo and just plug it in your motherboard. You do have to connect it to the controller, because the cable running from the 24-pin goes to your controller. You have an option to connect it to your motherboard in two ways. Now, here's the catch. We're going to explain in details about how the controller works. First of all, the only cable that sticks out right from the box is SATA power, which you do need to connect to your power supply. Then next you have a 2-pin header, which is actually a connection to the motherboard for addressable RGB, which if you decide to synchronize these with your motherboard, you could do that. But this is just an additional option for you. Then we have a micro USB that connects to your USB 2.0 on your motherboard, and with that you actually get a signal to your PC with Connect software to access the controller options and to go crazy with adjustments. After that, we have two headers here right on top. We have 8-pin and 6-pin header. Now here's the catch. On the 8-pin header, you connect your triple 8-pin cable for your graphic card, and on the 6-pin you connect your double 8-pin cable for your GPU. You have a switch right here, so if you decide to go with a graphic card, and if you have a graphic card like RTX 3090 or even some 3080 Ti's that have 3 8-pin, then you're going to connect it to the 8-pin on the controller and move the switch to that header. If you go with two 8-pin, you're going to move the switch to the left side. And here on the side, we have another 8-pin header, which is designed for 24-pin cable to be connected. It's quite easy. There's not too much cables going around it. You connect it quite easily, and that's that. When we're talking about the design of the cables, we have much brighter cables comparing to the older version, which is definitely visible by eye. And then we go with the thickness. Now these are slimmer in terms of, the previous ones were 2.8 millimeters and these are 21 millimeters of thickness, and basically making them thinner, they actually didn't lose the brightness, which is outstanding. How are they flexible compared to the previous version? Comparing them to Streamer Plus V1, let's call it that way, used actually a braided PVC cable which was stacked into 2 rows, and the Streamer Plus V2 actually wraps the extension cables into a single row of high-end silicone, so TPE, which slims down the overall Streamer V2. So RGB layer plus cable to 8mm. The past one was 11mm, so yeah, that's quite outstanding, giving you basically more possibility for cable management, without a doubt. Because of that flexibility, you can do some nice tighter bends of the cables and giving more visual aspect to your PC, which will look quite outstanding. Now it has also a higher temperature endurance, which comparing to the old ones, which were up to 105 degrees Celsius, these are going up to and capable of working in an environment up to 150 Celsius degrees. Now when we're talking about the GPU cable, specifically in the past version we had some, for instance, I think it was Gigabyte, some Pro version of the graphic card that has 8 pins more divided, more separated than your standard usual graphic card. So this came into a problem where the cable top was so strictly close to each other that you couldn't separate them, or it was really difficult at connecting them to that GPU that has separated to 8 pins. But in these terms you have a possibility to divide them a bit, giving you an option to actually swap the top black covers with white ones depending on your color scheme in the build. So they even thought about that, the separation between 2 8 pins or 3 8 pins, and of course with the color scheme, so if you have a complete white build, so you can have white cable comms. Now L-Connect 3, this with Streamer Plus V2, Lian Li introduces actually the L-Connect 3, which is the latest version of the Unifan software and is compatible with Streamer Plus V2 controller. In the previous version we had only a possibility to rely on the RGB software from your motherboard because they were connected directly to your motherboard. Now we have a controller which gives you a possibility to do all sorts of different effects. Newly added mode light effects are fade out, contest, crossover, bullet stack, twinkle, parallel, wave, ripple, voice, and it's really outstanding what you could actually do with it. Single mode is highly customizable section of light effects that can be each applied to a single lightning channel on the Streamer Plus V2. Single mode also unlocks a new level of customizability, as you can see, which gives you a possibility of rainbow mixing, meteor, static paint, and ping pong. If for instance you're an owner of an older version of the Streamer Plus and you still want to get those effects on your cables, you can buy the controller which can be bought standalone, and you can just connect the cables directly to the controller and control them through your L-Connect 3 software, which gives you a possibility to control everything through L-Connect 3. If you have, for instance, Lian Li's SL or AL fans, that's an option, and that gives you a cool way with a single RGB application to use all of those at the same time. Now, as you can see from the close-ups, it's quite easy to bend the cables and arrange everything inside the case, even connecting it at the back. This is a O11 Dynamic Evo, and it gives quite enough space to reroute the cables at the bottom. You can go beneath the graphic card, you can go, I've seen some builds basically placing the 8-pin cables from the GPU going beneath or around the 24-pin. It's all up to you, but they're so flexible you can really do it quite nicely. And of course I left the RGB Madness run just because, well, it's kind of more effective, but I would personally go with single color, and you can do that as well through L-Connect 3, which actually starts, comparing to the L-Connect 1, starts with Windows immediately, and this gives you an option, well, basically it gives you some sort of confidence that it will run each time you turn on your PC and remembers the settings, and it works perfectly fine. You can manage your fan speed, you can manage your RGB. As you can see, there are quite loads of options for you guys to choose from when it comes to RGB Madness or static color or whatever you want to go, ping pong, meteor, whatever. It's just insane how many options you have in L-Connect 3. So guys, the Lian Li STRIMER PLUS V2 are definitely an advanced model than the V1. As I said, they're much thinner, they're more flexible, and the brightness and the RGB really does look outstanding. If you're into having your PC going into full colors or a static color or whatever, and you want everything to have lights, RGB, cables, fans, graphic card, I don't know, maybe a pump top, it's all up to you to decide what's, well, basically best for you or what you prefer. So hope you like this. It was kind of a short tutorial, but still more introduction to the STRIMER PLUS V2. You can check out the links in the description for more information about the cables. As I said, you can go with 2 8-pin, you can go with 3 8-pin, and you can go with 24-pin for your motherboard. It's all up to what you actually need specifically for the graphic card, and you can easily switch the controller at the back for 2 8-pin or 3 8-pin. It's up to you. So guys, thank you for watching today's video. Don't forget to check the links as already stated. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and hit the notification bell for future content. And hopefully I will see you there. Thanks. Bye bye.